Today's day 33 of monk mode, the 3rd of February, and the subject of today's video is expeditions. And what I mean by like expeditions is just going out, fucking around, and just experiencing life. And not in a degenerate way. I'm not saying fucking go to the club or go out in nature and then fucking smoke meth, right? No, I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying to go out in nature and experience it, right? Yesterday I went on this really long expedition walk type thing, and basically the point of these expeditions is experience, right? Because, us people on self-improvement, us young guys, we don't tend to get much experiences. We'll just be fucking sat alone in our man cave, grinding, and not even really doing that good of work, but you get the point. You have to go out and do shit, like probably once a week, twice a month, every other week, right? You get it. You don't want to do it every day because then that's just too much, and you don't want to never do it because then you don't get any reward, right? Obviously. So what I did, I walked down this road to the edge of town, and then I walked out of the edge of town, and then I walked into like the nature and shit, and there was a river, and it was actually really nice because the river was like thawing. Basically, it was frozen because, it's goddamn cold. Well, it wasn't cold yesterday. It was like 66, or Fahrenheit. But, yeah, and there were like chunks of ice on the top of the river just floating down, and I thought that was really cool. And they were like clashing against it because the sides were still kind of melted. But yeah, that was cool. That was great. It was 2.5 hours. And I was just out there. I climbed a tree. And if you can, get another man to go with. Get another man. And the reason I say man and not person is because it's definitely going to be better with a man. And with a woman, you'll be probably distracted. And it won't be like this masculine thing where you're achieving freedom, right? The main point of this is to, allow your masculine energy to just flow, right? And because the main goal of the masculine is freedom, right? Freedom when faced with death. That's like why people like watching boxing so much, because it's like, it's not to the death, but it's something similar. And that's why, like, back in ancient Rome, I think it was Rome, where they had the gladiators just fight to the death, because that's like the masculine joy is just freedom, like from the shackles of death, and from all this shit. That's why people try it. That's why men want to get rich and do all this stuff. But yeah, you can go with a woman, but it's going to be an entirely different experience. Unless if that is a masculine woman, which exists, obviously. I'm not saying that they don't or shouldn't exist. And you want to be focused on experiencing. Because if you go with another man, you guys are going to be fucking, like, in a competition, like, who can climb this tree fucking higher, who can fucking jump in the river the longest. I wouldn't suggest that, because that shit was cold. Like, I got some shit on my hand, so I dipped my hand in there, and oh my god, my hand was, like, freezing. But yeah, definitely go on these expeditions, and it doesn't have to be nature. It can be like, if you take a train, or like drive, or just do something to this bigger city that you live nearby, and just like go to this super expensive, like fancy looking cafe, and like this is what you should be saving your money up for if you are working a job, and obviously you're gonna reinvest it into yourself with like coaches, courses, all that. But this is also reinvesting it into yourself. And just go to like a super expensive fancy cafe, get a coffee, and talk to the richest looking guy there and just ask her advice. You know, they're never gonna like, well, I wouldn't say never, but most guys, like the rich guys, are not just gonna be douchebags, especially if you're young and you're asking for help, because that's gonna be like, oh hell yeah, this guy's gonna go somewhere, right? So, and like just think about that in like a dating perspective, because if all you do is self-improvement and you never go on these expeditions, it's like you're not very interesting. You're just this guy that grinds all day and does nothing else ever. But if you were to go like once a week to this city and ask the rich guy, or go out in nature, or do some fitness stuff with your friends, like sometimes this month. Okay, I'm gonna go into a bit of a rant, but I do these things because I was a video gamer, right? And I was the type to grind the game, and I would always say, oh, once I do this, I'll be able to enjoy the game. Once I do this, I'll be able to enjoy the game, right? And once I did it and tried to enjoy the game, it was not fun anymore, right? The only fun part was the grind, which I have channeled that into actual real life, as you can see, as you would be able to see it if you could see my habit tracker. But yeah, just grind, obviously. And oh man, what was I talking about? Video game grind. I don't really know. But yeah, back to the, I guess I'll just end the video because I don't know where I was going. Let me just think for a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I can only remember talking about gaming just for the grind and never for the fun. So, yeah. Bit of an abrupt end, but yeah, I guess that's it. Let me take out the watch, show you the time. Pretty typical time, 4:05. And I'm gonna go on a run today in the morning, before the workout, before school, before practice. Yeah, I'm gonna have 4 like active events of today. I'm gonna run, I'm gonna lift, I'm gonna do basketball practice, and then we have like an hour-long throwing session for baseball. So yeah, today's gonna be tough. I'm gonna sleep like a baby, and then tomorrow I've got a game, so I'm gonna get home even later than I am today, because I'm gonna be home late today already. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be painful, but whatever. I persevere. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for day 34. So, see ya.